We'll find out. Hey guys, welcome to our Rosebud Thorn. This week we are talking about our Rosebud Thorns for the week of June 9th to the 15th. 14th, 15th. It's the 14th today.
It is. Yeah.
Okay,
So
so every week we go through these, we kind of go through what's been going really well for you guys, what is starting to come along or starting to gain traction, and what is the pain in your ass this week. So, with no further ado, we'll let Kayla start us off today.
so we're starting with Kyla. Kyla says her rose. So what's going well? I'm happy. I'm lowering my meds and feeling good. Woo! That's great
Love
news.
it.
Bud, temptation. LOL. Almost bought a pop this past weekend. I love that it was almost, it almost happened, but it didn't. I caught myself. Thorn, motivation for hard, sweaty movement. Okay, so let's tackle that motivation for the hard, sweaty movement. Maybe that's the piece of I don't like to be sweaty in my movement. So maybe I down regulate the intensity so that I don't have to worry about the sweatiness.
Yeah, and if you are somebody that absolutely despises sweating, swimming is a great activity because you don't even notice that you're sweating. Except for in the summer when you jump into a pool and you're super sweaty and then it feels like the water's beating off you, but that doesn't normally happen from just a swim.
Yeah, I would also forego all of the motivation and go with dedication and the ability to be consistent. So, am I scheduling in my time and prioritizing it because it's something that's important to me and I see the benefit and the value of it? I mean, even myself, I had a conversation with myself last night and I was like, what am I willing to do? And right now, I'm just not willing to focus on my nutrition. I'm really willing to focus on my workouts. And that is the one thing that I'm willing to do. And when I do hit a point mentally that I'm more able to focus in on my nutrition, then I'll do that. Like we talked about, like tracking my food. And I'm like, I don't want to track my food. However, I'm still eating whole foods and I'm prioritizing the health value of what I'm eating, but not necessarily prioritizing the tracking of it.
Yeah, I love that. What are we willing to do is the greatest thing that we can come back to. And I want to talk about your bud for just a second here. Almost bought a pop this past weekend. I love that. Previously you probably were like, well, I'm just going to buy that damn pop and go from there. Now options for you because I love options. So if we are somebody that really enjoys pop, we can always look at like the 0 calorie options of said pops. So whether it's the diet or like the Coke Zeros or whatever those are.
Stevia.
Stevias, right? So finding options. Other ones, if you just like the carbonation, would be things like bubblies and like the sparkling flavored waters are great options for that. And if you are more of like the flavor person, those juice squeezes can be great because you really get to control how much you're putting in there. So you can actually kind of lighten it up a little bit as we're going into summer if you want to add those flavors to your water just to kind of make your own pop, so to speak. So options are always the best thing. You don't need to feel like there's this crazy restriction. And even if you had a pop, right, it's not going to throw all of your progress out the window. So, yes, if we are somebody that has a serious addiction, I'll call it, to pop, to those bubbly carbonated drinks, maybe it's best to stay completely away from them. If you are someone that can live in that moderation, live in that gray area, then maybe it's okay to enjoy a pop or mix one in every once in a while, just so that you do get that fix and we're not feeling like we have to go without. Because again, it, like Kayla was saying, what are we willing to do? And maybe it's I give up pop for my weekdays, but on the weekends, if I'm with my friends or with my family, I'm willing to have a pop or have half of a pop or whatever it is, so that you still get to enjoy the activities that you enjoy. Because again, life isn't going to be perfect, so let's roll with it the best way we can.
I really don't like the idea though of the sugar from the pop. So I guess
I agree 100%. That's why I gave the other options first.
I guess my takeaway with that is that if you are going to have pop that has sugar in it, you're not drinking it alone. So you maybe I mean I'm not saying like on your couch alone. I mean like
Damn, mix it with booze.
no, I'm saying have some food with it, just to slow down the sugar content, or get those little tiny mini ones, like the smaller version. So maybe that'll be enough for you. I really like the Starbucks Tazo passion fruit tea, and in with some ice water and a little bit of lemon juice is really a really wonderful summer drink too.
Yeah,
So
that's what I wanted to say. Options, options, options. You don't have to feel like you're going without. And there's lots of great options that are lower calories or 0 calories that you can enjoy as well.
Yeah, we drink the diet 7 Up.
We drink Diet Pops and we drink bubbly waters.
Yes. Oh, what was that one that we got recently? It was like
I don't know, but it was delicious.
it's some sort of green orange. What it has a fancy name. It's a green orange and
Fancy green orange.
and strawberry, but it was very juice like, and it was not, there was no sweetener or anything in it.
But it was very sweet.
Yeah, it was from the superstore. So I don't know. It's fancy orange and strawberry.
Fancy
Or
orange strawberry.
citrus and strawberry or something like that. Anyways. All right, moving on. Let's talk about Casey.
So Casey's rose this week. My body is feeling really good this week. Love hearing that. But I'm catching up on my paperwork side of the business this week. I feel that, right? Entrepreneur, that is the life. And Thorn, just trying to keep up with how fast life is going. The more I do, the more it seems I have to do. Okay. So when we get busy, right? Busy is I like to say busy is almost like a state of mind, right? There's always the same core list of things that every adult, especially adult with children, need to have happen within a week. So when we start to kind of look at what needs to happen and what we can fit in there, it always does feel like that schedule is going to be full. So starting to take those little moments, right? Because we don't get big moments as parents where we have all the downtime in the world, but taking advantage of those little moments where we do feel a little bit of spare time or time opening up so that we can find things that we enjoy to do just to help fill that cup up. Because life will always seem busy. Life is busy. Right? If our life isn't busy, then we're not going places. So I love that your life is busy, Case. It's just trying to strategize so then when you do have those down moments, we can optimize those. Would be my biggest piece of advice there today.
Yeah, and I would say take advantage of the things that you're good at doing and do those things, and outsource the things that take a lot of time for you to do that you're not as good at. I know that seems a little cumbersome because it's hard to, especially as an entrepreneur, to give up maybe some of those pieces or to pay somebody else to do them. But there is this like wonderful piece of being able to take back time when you allow other people to do things as well, and leveraging skills and abilities. I should take my own advice sometimes because I suck with numbers. And yeah, I do all of our own books. But
even when somebody who's good with numbers has offered.
That's not true. Anyways, the point of the matter is like, see where you can maybe take back some of your time by outsourcing it too. Because I agree, it is that perpetual trying to keep up and on that treadmill idea versus it being, can I relax a little bit more?
Yeah. And then the other portion of this is with how fast life is going and how busy life is going. What are the things we're saying yes to? Right? Are we saying yes to everything? Or are we being strategic where we're willing to put our energy and our time? Because time is our biggest commodity. If I said yes to absolutely everything that came on my plate, I would have no time as well. So being okay to set those boundaries and being okay to say no to certain things so that we can keep that little bit of that time, a little bit of our sanity in that sense as well.
Well, and even going through the want, willing, won't, right? So like, what do I want out of my life right now or out of our situation? What am I willing to do within that? And what won't I do within that? And getting very clear, the cultivating your life exercise that we give in our transformation program is a really good one. And Casey, I know you've done the transformation program, so you can always go back to that one because it's like the idea of planning ahead so that we can take it apart to be able to analyze what do we need to do now. So how do I begin to take action now for what I want going forward versus just being reactive in our decision making so that it becomes, oh, well, this isn't actually what I wanted.
Yeah, I absolutely love when we do a road mapping where we get to see what our goals are and then what are the things that we need to create. What would somebody who's already successful in those goals be doing to create that success? So again, yeah, I agree 100%. If you remember those lessons, Case, go ahead and take a look. For anybody else that's interested in those lessons, definitely reach out. We do have our transformation program. Actually, we have one starting fairly soon. Shameless plug, but we do have a lot of information that helps with those things in that program too.
So, okay, so Shania says, Rose, my nutrition and my workouts.
Yes.
Bud, planning is going well, yay. And Thorn is sleep.
Mm.
So, I guess, are we prioritizing sleep or are we being reactive with our sleep? Most people are reactive with their sleep.
For
They,
themselves, but if they have kids, they plan those out very well.
yeah. But so like if we're being reactive with our sleep, meaning we're not necessarily going to bed at a similar time every night and waking up at the same time every day, or a similar time, maybe we are, getting way less sleep than we normally get. So taking a look at our goals, there's a lot in relation to recovery, and weight loss that goes into getting enough sleep. So if we're not getting enough sleep, both recovery and weight loss will be inhibited. Same thing with muscular gains, because we get a lot of our growth hormone really between 11:30 and 1:30 a.m. So 11:30 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. So if we're not going to bed adequately, then we're missing out on a lot of that growth hormone spike that we need in order to build the muscle.
Yeah. The only other thing I'll say is your sleep environment is so important. So how do you set yourself up for success with sleep? Like Kayla was saying, are you going to bed at roughly the same time? Is your room dark or do you have a sleep mask on? Our room isn't dark. Our room is about as bright as this room is right now. So we wear sleep masks because we're too cheap to buy the big thick roller curtains that we used to have, because we have custom sized windows in this new house. So is your room dark? Is your room fairly cool, right? Because if your room's too hot, it inhibits your ability to get into that deep sleep too. Are you watching screens before you go to bed? Are you eating food within an hour to an hour and a half before you go to bed? All of these things can play into your sleep quality. I'm not saying they all do. There's lots of people that can eat a meal and go to bed shortly after and not notice a decrease in their quality of sleep. But there are some people that if you are in that state of digestion as you're going to bed at the start, it inhibits your ability to get to that deeper level of sleep faster. So just really starting to pay attention to our bedtime routine, what that looks like. If we don't have a bedtime routine, starting to put one in place. And it could start with something as easy as, well, every night I brush my teeth, so that's part of my routine. Well, every night before I go to bed, I draw my curtains down, I set my bed up the same way I do every night, whatever that is, but starting to get into a routine at bedtime can be beneficial to help with that sleep.
100%. 100%. Okay. Moving on.
All right, Melissa's rose this week, tracking my food and hitting my calorie goal each day. I thought it would be a major pain to account for everything I eat in a day, but I actually enjoy reflecting at the end of the day, seeing it written out, assessing how I feel based off the foods I've consumed. It also makes me pause if I come across something that isn't entirely in my whole foods diet and make a conscious decision whether or not the 2 second taste, so to speak, is worth giving up calorie space for that item. I love that.
What?
Wow.
Wow.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. All right. Melissa's bud. I began writing in a gratitude journal. Yay! The first few days have been a struggle to really see the things I'm grateful for, but I'm hoping, like the other changes I've made, this one will stick and get easier. Gratitude cannot be overstated. So gratitude is something that we like to practice in our household fairly consistently. We have gotten away from it just because dinner times have been a little bit skewed with Kayla and I running the spin studio plus our training business. So, but when we have time and we're sitting down at the table as a family, we like to go around the table at dinner time and say what we're grateful for that day, because it really puts both us and our kids in a state of that joy, right? When you start to bring more gratitude into your life, you really start to see all of the things that you get to be appreciative of, right? So super important, and I love that it's coming along.
And
stick with it, have fun with it.
One of those things that I love about gratitude is that it does shift us into a state of constantly looking for things to be grateful for. When I started my gratitude practice, I wasn't writing in a gratitude journal because I couldn't be consistent with it. But I made myself a goal as I had to say 10 things every day that I was grateful for, and I could not repeat them from day to day. And I'll tell you, after the course of a week, I was like looking around and I was like, I'm so grateful for seeing that had deer today. That was amazing. Like,
And looking back, it was.
you know, and but the thing is like this is a couple years ago already, and I still remember seeing that deer because I was actively searching for these moments of like, what could I be grateful for today? And so my brain, my reticular activating system in my brain was set on high alert all day long, looking for things to be grateful for. So, you know, give yourself eventually as you get into this practice, give yourself that goal of, you know, I can't just be grateful for breath and water every day and food on my plate and a warm bed to sleep in. What else can I be grateful for?
Yeah, no, 100%. And then, yeah, start with there. I got other things we can add on to that, but that's a beautiful place to start. And I love that it's already started. All right. Melissa's thorn this week is cooking chicken. I am no chef, and apparently, in my fear of giving myself food poisoning, I overcook the absolute crap out of my chicken breast and get to enjoy, and I use this word sarcastically, chicken dust for dinner. One of these days I'll nail it. Pray for me. Okay. We're going to pray for you right now. So if you were cooking chicken in an oven, 375?
Yeah,
375 for 20 minutes. Okay. Bring it out, season it with whatever you want. This is from Frozen. Season it with whatever you want, put it back in for another 20, 25 minutes. If you don't have a meat thermometer, go and get one.
They're like $10.
Yeah, 170. That's that magic number. Normally like that 40, 45 minutes at 375. Most times if you're getting Costco chicken breasts, they're like, 40 to 50 minutes because they have mutant chicken breasts.
Barbecue is really good way to do it too. We cook ours from frozen on the barbecue, mainly because we're cheap and we buy frozen food. And it lasts longer. I also, but I was going to go off on a tangent that had to do with frozen food. That's not good. But with chickens, especially if you want it moist, adding a liquid to the pan that you're cooking it in. So, you know, a little bit of salad dressing, like an Italian salad dressing, or a little bit of like just water with some like lemon juice and seasoning in the pan, so that it almost boils it versus just roasts it, will give it a little bit more moisture content as well.
Yeah, and then just again really paying attention to your cook times. And then a meat thermometer is going to be your best friend. 170. That's the magic number.
Or get a crock pot. Throw the chicken in the crock pot with a little bit of water, some seasoning for the day. Once it's done in the crock pot, you know, you can drain out any excess water that you don't want, and then just take your blender, what do you call
beaters.
it? Your egg beaters, and beat it, and then you've got like shredded chicken, and you can add, you know, buffalo sauce or whatever you want to it, for shredded chicken. That's another way.
You got this. We believe in you.
We cook a lot of chicken. So we can help you. I hope you don't have to enjoy chicken dust anymore. That sounds
getting away
awful.
from the dust.
Awful. Okay, Bonnie says, Rose, excited about my new workout plan.
Woohoo!
This is awesome because Bonnie's moving into barbell season, which is a huge, huge transition. Bud, happy with my dumbbell bench press. It should say dumbbell incline bench press because I know it's on flat bench. Anyways, Thorn, figuring out how to use my barbell with regular weights when doing a barbell hip bridge from the floor.
Define regular weights.
With regular weights when doing a barbell hip bridge from the floor. That's a confusing. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know the statement. I don't know how to answer that.
Neither do I. Bonnie, you're gonna have to clarify some things with Kayla next time you're in.
Figuring out how to do a barbell hip bridge with regular weights. When are you talking about with dumbbells? Maybe when doing it from
or
the floor?
Do you have like smaller plates so they're hard to get across your hip?
Oh, maybe that's it.
I don't know. Because
I have Olympic ones, and so we just roll them. So maybe that's it, because the gym she goes to doesn't have Olympics ones. So that might be part of it.
So if that's the case, you can literally roll those weights up on top of other weight plates to get their stack higher. So if you're using 10s and they're like those little tiny 10s, so you can't roll it over your hips, you can lift one side at a time up onto a couple of those 45-pound plates and just put the center of the round part in the hole that you'd be putting the barbell through so that it's stable. And then you can just slide your body underneath that way.
Yeah. So elevating the bar so that it can get underneath your hips is a great option. And if that's not something that works for you on plates, maybe you have a squat rack where you can set the safeties a little bit low, where you can slide underneath them and be able to do it from there.
Yeah. Cool. Christine's Rose this week meals are bang on. Made taco burritos for lunch yesterday. So yum. Love it.
Ooh,
Bud eating full meals on the weekends.
I
Woo!
love
Are you
it.
actually taking time for yourself? I love this. Thorn is workouts. It's been hard finding the energy to do them, but I push. I think I'm just tired of doing push-ups and I'm ready to go back to lifting weights. Yes, let's go. Sorry, I get excited when people want to lift weights.
That's hilarious. I feel that. I had another client, she's like, I don't want to do lunges anymore. Please don't make me.
One of my favorite things, because Christine's been working with us for a while, and you are strong as hell, and I love it because when you got these like body weight workouts, you're probably like, "Bah, this is gonna be easy." It is crazy how challenging using our body as our weight, as our resistance can be for everybody, right? So I love that you're finding the challenge in these movement patterns, and I absolutely love that you're ready to get back to lifting weights. I agree. Let's lift some shit.
All right. Emily says, Rose, increasing my daily movement and getting back into a routine.
Woo!
But I'm making a bit of headway with getting my kids on a clear eating path.
Cleaner.
Oh, cleaner eating path.
Let's go.
I love it. Way to go. See, and it's taken time, right? At the beginning of the Spring into Fitness Challenge, it was a sticking point for her. And now we're 8 weeks in.
We're making
and we're making some headway. So just to go to show guys, I just want to use Emily as an example. It takes time and persistence. But if you put in that time and persistence, look, it begins to pay off.
Well,
So
this doesn't just go for kids. This goes for us too. When we are creating new habits, it takes time. So for everybody that's out there reading this or hearing this, and they're like, well, shit, I'm having a hard time getting off of these food groups, whatever they might be. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. You can't just wish it into existence. You need to work on it. Like any other skill in this life, if you want to be damn good at it, you got to work for it.
yeah, and you got to understand why you want it.
100%. Love that.
Thorn, constantly changing schedule. Yes. Especially, I know Emily's got kids, so we're coming to the end of the school year. Everybody's got a million field trips, or there's, you got to go to this concert or this graduation or whatever. So I can understand that piece that goes into the end of year celebrations. But you know what? The best thing you can do with a constantly changing schedule is schedule to the best of your ability and be open to be flexible. And what I mean by that is a lot of people get really stuck in their ways and are very inflexible. And so if you just,
Rigid.
yeah, they become very rigid in their process and their planning. So if you can sit back and go, hey, I'm going to be open to be flexible today. I could move this to there and that to there. It allows you to kind of think a little bit more abstractly, and it also allows you to plan better. So like you can prioritize, these are the things that need to be done, and how do I begin to attack those? They don't have to be done in this specific way.
Yeah. And then the other thing that we could switch just a little bit of that verbiage, a little bit of the focus here is yes, there's a constantly changing schedule. Let's say from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. We don't know exactly what's going to happen from day to day because it is so dynamic. But what are our anchor points? What are the things that we are consistently doing, right? That are in that schedule? Do we wake up and have breakfast at roughly the same time every day? Do we take the kids to the school at the same time every day? Do we have dinner and, our books or whatever it is after dinner, bath time, whatever it is with the kids? Are those all still roughly in the same position? And if they are, starting to kind of celebrate those things and putting our focus into the fact that we are able to stay roughly on track, even though the rest of the day may seem chaotic, because that kind of gives you a point to anchor to for your day where it's like, okay, everything else blows up during the day. I might not have full control over that, but the things that I can have in routine, I'm keeping as close to routine as I can.
100%.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. Krista.
All right, Krista's Rose this week. I have a consistent routine, just talked about it, love it, that I've been sticking to, and it's made a huge difference for me. Really showing up for my workouts and my meal planning has been good, and I'm excited to continue with it after the challenge. Yes, love it. Absolutely love it. Krista's Bud this week, still trying to find new workouts. Oh, excited to try Spoga tonight to get some cardio in, but also work on increasing my flexibility, which is something I'm trying to focus on. Absolutely love that. And Spoga is so much fun. And Thorn, I'm sad the challenge is coming to an end. It was a bit intimidating at the start, but it's been good, and I'm going to try to carry on with all the helpful tips and tricks I've been learning along the way. I love that.
That's amazing.
I'm sad it's coming to an end too. Um, Tips, tricks, habits, the habit formation that goes along with it. I absolutely love that. I think in your lessons today, we do have options moving forward. If it's something that you're interested in, or if you want to go it your own for a while, by all means, right? This is why we do these programs, so you can learn the skills to be able to carry them into your life.
And we hope that you guys know that no matter whether you're coaching with us or not, we're here to answer questions.
Yeah. Yeah. Like everybody who's trained with us in the past knows, and now you guys get to know this too. Just because you're not actively in a program, reach out, right? If you have questions, if you want information, we have so many videos on so many different topics that we can give you for reference if it's something that's just a quick question, or if you're, if you're looking for some guidance, by all means, reach out.
And we are
100%.
not the gatekeepers, so we just like to share information.
We just give information.
Yeah, we don't hold the information hostage and you have to pay us to get it. We want you guys to be able to empower yourselves to move forward. So if it helps you to be accountable, where you're sending rosebud thorns every week, send them in by email to us.
Yeah, we'll still put them in the videos, and you'll still be part of this group. So
yeah,
by all means,
you can always stay accountable that way. All right. Megan says her rose, feeling like my eating has gotten back mostly on track, noticing my body changing a bit and definitely getting stronger.
Woo!
She's totally committed to these gym workouts. It's
Love
been
it.
Amazing. But finding prioritizing time to for my gym workouts, my gym and workouts, trying to at least get home workouts in this week. So last week she was talking about her spouse is working night shift.
Yeah,
and
we're willing to do.
When we had we had our chat the other day, she's like, I never even considered that I had a home workout. so we talked about being able to move that home workout. Thorn, soreness from the gym, LOL. I couldn't go down the stairs for 2 days after my Saturday workout.
Oh, the days where we have to make pillow forts on the couches.
Yeah, I've been there. I know that sore feeling when you can't sit on the toilet and every step
falling at the toilet. You
Yeah.
you thank God you have a nice narrow bathroom.
Yeah. I love that, and I'm sorry, but not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. Way to kick ass and gain strength. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Exactly. And hopefully that muscle soreness only lasted 2 to 3 days and it kind of dissipated from there.
If we are over that 3-day threshold for pain in our body after a workout, chances are we overdid a little bit, whether we pushed ourselves a bit too hard in the reps, whether our form got a little bit sloppy because we were pushing heavy weights. But definitely paying attention to those cues you get from your body. If we're over 3 days sore, maybe we step it back a little bit the following week.
And the bonus to take away from that is you were this sore the first time through, so the next time through you won't be nearly this sore.
100%.
So the body adapts, and that's a beautiful thing. Now, I get a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm never sore from my workouts. Like, I guess I didn't push hard enough. That's also not correct.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to gauge your level of effort in a workout based on how sore you are, because over time we become trained and we don't get nearly the same level of sore.
Yeah, like a perfect example of that is like I work with some athletes, and when we're working with them, they're like, oh, I don't feel sore the next day. And I'm like, you're not supposed to. You are a high level athlete. You train 5 days a week. This is normal. Your body's always going to have that little bit of muscle fatigue, but we shouldn't be feeling the DOMs as heavy as somebody that only lifts 3 days a week. So yeah, paying attention to those cues, making sure that we're being realistic with what we are doing in our workouts and how hard we are working. So awesome work. Absolutely crushing it.
So thank you guys for taking the time to listen to these Rosebud Thorns. This is going to be episode 101.
Yeah, Dalmatians, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. And we do plan to get back to doing some more podcasting and sharing more information and tips with you guys. So please do stay tuned for more to come. And we will see you guys next week for our Rosebud Thorn.
Yeah, and just on that note too, I want to mention if anybody has ideas or things that they would like to hear us talking about for our podcast, definitely send them in because we love ideas.
Yeah, and we love to talk.
She does. Have a great day, guys.
Bye for now.